G'day Australia and all those who are in Oceania. Today we're going to be talking about empowerment via math accessibility through digital access and Word and AI. Incredibly powerful math that's literally come about since June. Yeah, it started a few years ago, but now it's really all coming together. Let's watch and have some fun. How to set up MathCat with JAWS and NVDA.
How to set document one.
Hi, it's Dr. Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how to set up MathCat and the Braille Viewer for JAWS and NVDA. I'm using NVDA right now. I open him just by hitting my Start key, NVDA, or I pin him to my taskbar. I'm going to go ahead and insert N in order to go into the preferences and settings of NVDA. Insert N.
NVDA menu. Down arrow. Preferences submenu P.
Now, this is where MathCat's going to show up. So if you've done it correctly already, right
Settings.
arrow,
S.
up arrow once,
Up arrow. MathCat settings.
and you're going to hear
M.
them. If you don't have it yet, I'm going to
Preferences submenu P. Down arrow.
down to
Tools submenu
Tools.
T. View log L.
And well, I'm just going to show you this right now, the Braille Viewer.
Down arrow. Down arrow. Braille viewer check B.
Just check it, and you're going to be able to see the Braille in the Braille Viewer, which is very helpful, especially for any teacher who actually wants to look off the viewer instead of asking a student to move their fingers to check their Braille display. I'm going to go down arrow to Add-on Store.
Down arrow. Add-on store.
Okay, remember that's Tools, Add-on Store, hit Enter.
Enter. Add-on store. Installed add-ons. All. Dialog math.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and Alt-S, or I can Shift-Tab actually.
Shift plus tab. Search. Edit Alt plus blank.
Okay, type in MathCat.
T. A. C. A. T.
And then you're going to tab down.
Tab. Installed add-ons. List Alt plus A.
You can tab over to Actions, but I'm just going to do Alt-C to get there.
Context menu.
Now, the first option is going to be Install, but of course, I've already installed this. So
Down arrow. Disable D.
I hear Disable, and I can down arrow and remove. You're going to hit Enter on Install, and it's going to install. You're going to restart your NVDA, and you'll have MathCat in those preferences menu.
Document 1.
I'm going to Alt
Word.
F4 close.
Alt plus F4.
Once again, I'm going to insert N.
NVDA menu. Right arrow. Down arrow. Preferences submenu. Settings.
And
S.
right arrow and
Up arrow. MathCat settings.
Okay,
M.
and you're going to see MathCat settings as soon as you restart your NVDA. That's easy. And then, of course, you can go use MathCat settings, and you can use it for your JAWS also. So make sure that is all set up.
Preference
Okay?
escape. Document 1. Word unavailable. Escape.
And
Document 1.
now
Word.
I'm going to go ahead and turn off NVDA and show you how to do it with JAWS. I'm just going to insert Q.
Exit NVDA dialog. What would you like to do?
And I'm going to hit Enter. Okay. Now we're going to go into JAWS and do the same thing. I'm going to Windows 1. That's you can open the context menu and open your JAWS however you want.
JAWS screen sharing meeting controls.
Okay. So now let's go ahead and get JAWS MathCat set up. I'm going to Windows 1 once again in order to open my context menu because JAWS is pinned to my taskbar in the first slot.
Windows 1 taskbar. JAWS context menu to navigate. Press up or down arrow. O option submenu. O.
Okay. I'm going to right arrow and down to early adopter program.
Basics D. Voices submit. Braille early adopter program E.
Hit enter.
Enter. Leaving menus. Taskbar. Early adopter program.
And it's going to tell you how early adopter programs are, beta, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if you want MathCat to work really well, you're going to get that checked. So I'm going to tab once and make sure that my box is checked.
MathCat checkbox checked. The clear checkmark. Press space bar.
Check that box and hit enter, and you're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and escape out of there, and I'm going to show you how to turn on the Braille Viewer.
Escape.
Okay, once again, I'm going to go into my context menu of JAWS, Windows 1.
Windows 1 taskbar. JAWS context menu to navigate. Press up or down arrow. O option submenu. O.
Down to Utility.
Utility submenu U.
Enter or right arrow.
JAWS tandem submenu T.
Up arrow once.
Braille and text viewer submenu V.
Right arrow.
S. Show Braille viewer B.
Okay. I'm also going to show you, you can go down all the way to settings. You can change that. I am a yellow person with a black font. That's the way I prefer it. I'm just going to hit enter on that, and you can immediately see the Braille Viewer populate.
Enter. Leaving menus. Taskbar.
And voila. So I had gone into my settings and I went ahead and changed that. And now all your math options are available for all the videos that you watch from TechVision, yourtechvision.com. or our YouTube channel, and that is to make sure your MathCat is really going to work properly with JAWS and NVDA. Okay, that is how you do that. Tips and tricks to teach or learn UEB Math and all the technology that goes with it.
Viewing menus.
It's Dr. Robinson, and today
Document.
we're going to go over more tricks and tips on how you can learn math. More importantly, how you can teach it as a teacher. Because the ideal is we teach the students how to learn the code, and then they end up in the math room where the teacher with a math degree is actually teaching all the students, both blind and sighted, and you know what? Everything else, because that's the ideal. And that's what we want to happen at all times. So let's go to the math problem and start showing you some tips and tricks.
Problem: A circular park has a radius of 12 meters. Calculate the area of the park.
Okay, when I hit my end,
End.
I'm
Blank.
gonna hit
Enter.
enter. So the first thing we're going to go over is maybe you can't remember pi r squared, or you remember pi r squared but have no idea how to actually insert it. Here is the trick. You're going to do alt equals. This is the utilizing the word math editor. Make sure you have Office 365. That is not an option. Alt equals.
Alt equals selected. Math.
Okay, as soon as you do alt equals, you immediately have another menu open that's called the equation menu. And the way you access that is Alt J, then E.
Alt J, upper ribbon E.
Okay, the next option is as soon as you do that, your whole ribbon opens of the equation editor. I'm going to press the letter E to go to all the different types of equations. That will help you learn this code even easier. You can tab into your ribbon also. I'm pressing E.
E. Equation, built dash in, area of circle, surface area of a circle with radius R button, 1 of 9.
Yep, and I'm going to hush him up. He says 1 of 9, but you can actually continue all the way to more equations from office.com and find a whole plethora and myriad of other math problems in order to help you learn all this code. But by the time you finish about 10, you're going to be pretty good at this. Anyway, I'm going to hit enter on a equals pi r squared.
E, enter, edit.
Okay, so here we are, a equals pi r squared. Visually, I have turned on my Braille viewer so you that have vision can look in the top left-hand corner. On my Braille display, it is also flawless and beautiful UEB Math, a equals pi r squared. Right there, I can see what the code is. And what I would have the teacher do is have their own separate computer so they can say, okay, let's go ahead and repeat this and Braille this out over and over and over again. And after about 5 times, the student will have it. Well, let's go over some more tips and tricks. I'm going to open my Braille math editor now. I'm using a Focus 40. I highly suggest anyone going into the STEM field use an 80 cell Braille display. I'm going to hold down my space. I'm going to do 3, 7, and 4, 6. Let up so my Braille math editor opens.
Braille math editor, equation edit, contains text. Type in a math expression. Press insert plus F1.
I'm going to hush him up. Automatically, if you have vision, you can automatically see that. I'm going to show you another trick because maybe you forgot to bring your extra computer and you're just working off your student's computer. You're going to do a Control A and you're going to copy this out and you're going to paste it below the print version. So you even have more backup on what this code is. Control A.
Selected.
Copy.
Copied.
I'm going to hit escape.
Escape.
I'm going to hit
Dot end equation.
enter, and I'm going to Control V to
Pasted.
paste. Now you actually have all the Braille inserted.
Home. Dot 6.
And I'm going to tell you this is really great for presentations. If you're doing your own presentations, you can show people immediately what the print looks like and what the Braille looks like. If I right arrow, it will also tell me my dots.
Dot 1.
Okay, and of course,
Dot 6.
it missed the dot 6 of dot 1. And that's A. So it's reading all the way through A equals pi r squared. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up and we're going to manipulate A equals pi r squared because we want a circular park has a radius of 12 meters. Calculate the area of the park. So all the student has to do is insert the formula and then utilize it.
Math content cap A equals pi r.
I'm going to hush him up. I'm going to go into my Braille math editor and we're going to manipulate this.
Braille math editor, equation edit, contains text. Type in a math expression. Press.
And I'm going to hush him up. Okay, so we know we need A equals pi times 12 to the power of 2. So let's keep moving along.
Dot 1, Braille space, dot 5, dots 2, 3, Braille space, dots 4, dots 1, 2, 3, dots 1, 2, 3, 5.
Okay, now it's time to change that radius. I'm going to do a space. I'm going to hit a delete, and I'm going to type in 12.
Dots 5, 6. 1, 2.
Okay. Oops. I'm doing Nemeth.
Dots 2, dot 2.
Gotta be careful of that.
Dots 3, dot 1, dots 1, 2.
I love that. Okay, to the power of, and we already know what to the power of is because it told us, and it's already here, which we absolutely love. So we have a equals pi. We forgot the times, but look how easy it is to manipulate this.
Dots 1, dot 1, dots 3, 4, 5,
Here we
6,
go.
space. Dot 5, dots 2, space.
And we go ahead and insert all that information. So now we have a equals pi times 12 to the power of 2. So I'm going to keep making like little goofs like here, like this, so you can actually see how easy it is to solve. I don't have to hit end, but I am going to hit end to the end, and then hit enter and insert.
Enter. Document 1
And
dash word.
here we are.
Document 1 dash word. Print edit.
Okay, and now I want to move into split braille because I want to be able to look at this and continue to solve my math problem. I'm going to hit end. Okay, so now I want to go into buffer mode, which is going to give me 2 lines of braille. I'm going to insert Alt V on my computer. You can do this on your braille display also to go into buffer mode, which is going to be space 268. So you've got options there. I'm going to use insert Alt V.
Select Braille View dialog. List 1, list view. No split. 1 of 8. Okay,
when you're done with this and you move on to another math problem, you will want to get rid of the split view. But right now, I'm going to down arrow to buffered.
Buffered text. 2 of 8.
Okay, I want you to take a look at the top and you actually see 2 long lines separating my left from my right. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and I'm going to move the a equals pi times 12 to the power of 2 down.
Enter.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go up, and let's go ahead and re-buffer that if it did not show up, but it does. It shows up beautifully. It's on the right-hand side of my braille display, and my left-hand side is empty, which tells me, hey, go ahead and you can solve this. So I could go ahead and use my my keyboard, but I'm going to go ahead and go into my Braille Math Editor to do this.
Braille Math Editor, equation edit, type in dot 6, dot 1, space, dot 5, dots 2, 3, space, dots 4, 6, dots 1, space, dot 5, dots 2, space, dots 3, dot 1, dots 1, 4, 5. Probably the big trick for me is to make sure I'm focusing on UEB and not Nemeth, because when you know both, you can actually accidentally choose either one. Let's say I don't know how to do 12 times 2, so I'm going to show you another trick. I'm going to hit enter on this to insert my answer. Document 1 dash word. Okay, and the students need to know how to use their scientific calculator built into their computer also. So now I'm going to hit my space bar. I'm going to type in CAL, and I'm going to open my calculator and show you also how to do your math using the scientific calculator already built into your computer. CAL, calculate, enter, calculator.
Here we are.
Scientific.
If it does not read scientific calculator, immediately Alt-2. You can also Shift-Tab up into your options. Okay, let's go ahead and do 12 to the power of 2.
1, 2.
You can do Shift-6, or you can do the letter Y. I'm going to do Shift-6 to the power of
12 to the power of 2.
2, and I'm going to hit enter.
144.
Now, what's so great about this, if you have memory problems, you can actually Control-C to copy that, and you can paste those answers into Word also, but I already brailled it in, so I don't need to do that. That is how you use your calculator. You can use your calculator for absolutely everything, just like you can use a handheld calculator. Just know it's already built into your computer, very easy to use. I'm Alt-tabbing back to Word.
Document 1 dash word to move to an
And here I am. We need to go ahead and continue to finish this, and I'm going to show you some more really cool tricks. I'm going to hit my end. I'm going to hit enter.
Enter.
Okay, so we know that pi is approximately 3.14. If your students are going into STEM, they absolutely need to learn LaTeX. So I'm going to do a little LaTeX here just so you can see how it's used. I'm going to do Alt equals. Alt
Alt
equals.
equals selected. Math content. Math A.
Okay, so let's say you're absolutely clueless on how to do the approximate to. Here is another trick. Because I've done Alt equals, I'm going to go into all my options of other types of symbols. I'm going to do Alt JE.
Alt J upper E.
Okay, I've gone into my equation editor. I'm going to hit the letter Q in order to go to all my symbol options. Q.
Q. Equation symbols. Basic math. Equation symbol plus.
Okay, so visually you can immediately see it's in the middle of your screen. You've just been given the command, so you too can go up there. Every type of, well, not every type, but almost all the types of different types of math that you need are going to be here. I'm going to go ahead and right arrow to approximate to.
Equation symbol almost equal to left parent asymptotic to right parent almost.
Yeah, I already know it's at the very end because, of course, I've shown people this before. And the transcribers learn this very, very quickly, so they can go ahead and transcribe the work for students and email it right off to them, and they can sit in class. And of course, the ideal is they're sitting in class with their peers, and that math teacher with that degree is teaching them how to actually do the math. Let's go ahead and hit enter on that.
Enter. Edit.
Okay, so now we have an approximate to, and I'm going to go ahead and hit space on that. And I could use my Braille Math editor on here, but I'm going to go ahead and continue on my keyboard.
Period 1, 4.
Okay, we need to go ahead and
14.
times. Here is another trick. Even though you know the Braille, you must know this trick also to make your life a lot easier. Foreign languages are in this dialog box also. Insert number 4.
Select a symbol to print dialog. List 1, list view.
Okay, I'm just going to hush them up. I'm going to hit M for multiply symbol very quickly.
M, masculine or M, multiply symbol, 51
Okay,
of 90.
and on your own, you're going to go through this whole thing and go, oh my gosh, this is really great. Anyway, hit enter.
Enter. Print, edit.
And now I have the multiplication symbol. I need to go ahead and continue.
Space 1, 4, 4, 144.
We need that approximate to once again. Okay, so I'm going to show you another trick. Once you figure out your approximate to, you do have to change this to LaTeX in order to have it change correctly. I'm going to Alt J-E.
Alt J upper E.
Okay, Unicode is by default selected UF, but I need to TX to go to LaTeX, so we can use a little LaTeX, TX.
TX, LaTeX on, leaving menus, leaving rib.
Now it's on. Now I'm going to go ahead and control equals.
X, control equals.
Control shift equals.
Control shift equals, selected, backslash.
Okay, so now you can actually visually see, I'm going to hit home.
Home, A. Backslash, space, backslash.
So it's backslash approximate, just so you can listen for it. So backslash always starts your LaTeX.
A period. P, R, O, X.
Okay, and then of course as
X-ray.
approximate 3.14. I'm going to go ahead and control shift equals and change it back so we can actually use that LaTeX at the end.
Control shift equals, selected, a back.
Control equals.
Control equals.
And we're back. And I'm going to tell you, just based on how your computer is set up, sometimes Control Shift equals immediately changes it perfectly. Sometimes Control equals. I have had that issue. Typically, it's supposed to be 1. But hey, this is technology. It's your end.
End equation.
Okay, so we know it's backslash.
A, P, R, X.
Whoops, I forgot the O.
X, O, X.
See how easy it is to change it.
Ox.
Don't panic that it has not changed yet. It will in just a moment. And let's continue.
4, 5, 2. 4 and 1, 6.
Now, if you don't know all of this, of course, you can pull up your calculator and, of course, start typing that in and solving that also. And we, of course, need square meters.
6 S, Q, SQ.
Based on what your teacher wants, you could do M or you can type it out.
M, E,
I'm going to
T,
go ahead
R, S.
and type it out. Okay, so once again, let's go ahead and Control Shift equals.
Meters, Control Shift equals.
Control, and there's the LaTeX. Now Control equals.
Control equals.
And voila.
End equation.
Flawless, beautiful approximate to. So there are the tricks or more tricks in order to know how to solve this math. Okay, let's go down.
.6.1 braille space.
I'm going to hush them up. I'm going to hit enter.
Enter.
Okay, so I'm going to go back up to my equation editor, and we're going to hit the quadratic formula because the vernaculum really causes people issues. I'm going to go ahead and open up and just do a simple square root just so you can see the issue. I'm going to do all equals for this one.
All equals selected.
I'm going to hit backslash.
S, Q, R, T, S, Q, R, T.
Square root of, actually I'm going to change back to Unicode so you can instantly see it all change for us also. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to backspace
R, Q, S, backslash.
and get rid of that. And I'm going to do Alt
Alt dash.
equals Alt JE.
Alt J, upper E.
Whoops, that didn't want to work.
Escape.
Let's try that again.
Escape, leaving escape.
Alt equals
Alt equals selected.
Alt
Alt
J,
J, upper E.
E, and I'm going to do UF to go back to Unicode.
U, F, Unicode on, leaving menus,
Okay.
leaving ribbons.
Now you're going to see how differently this actually works. Let's make sure I'm actually where I want to be.
U, blank.
Yep, it is.
Home, selected, math content.
And you can actually see that my buffer mode is on, so we should probably turn that off now because we're going to use a different mode. So I'm going to insert Alt V,
Select Braille view dialog, no split,
up arrow to no split, and hit enter.
Enter. Edit.
Okay, and backslash.
S, Q, R, T.
Now watch what happens.
SQRT, autocorrect colon square root.
And it instantaneously changes to the square root. Let's go ahead and do, I don't know, 4, 5,
4 plus
plus
6.
6. Instantaneously, you can already see, if you're visual, that vinculum, that's that line that goes over the math problem up above, only extends to the 45. Here is your trick. Now open your Braille Math editor, space 3746.
Braille Math Editor, equation edit, type.
And I love how it doesn't come up the first time. No big deal. Let's try that again. I'm just going to arrow into it.
Braille Math Editor, equation edit, contains text.
Okay, so what I call the termination, the end of the square root, just needs to be moved. That's it. I'm going to hit my end key and left arrow into it because I want to find the 3, 4, 6, and that needs to be moved. Hit end. And let's go ahead and find that.
Dots 1, dots 3, 4, dots 2, dot 5, dots 3, 4, 6.
There we are. The offending termination, which needs to be moved. I'm going to hit my delete key. I'm going to hit my end. And you'll also notice if you're visual, invalid, or incomplete Braille Math, if you hit enter right now, it would not allow you to do that because it's improperly
dots
formatted.
3, 4, 6.
But as soon as I put the 3, 4, 6, visually you can see that vinculum immediately cross across the whole problem. That's going to be the issue in your quadratic formula when you do it, and I will show you that. Okay, now let's go ahead and hit enter. And it immediately changes to a proper format. So now you can see how you can easily go back and forth based on what you need to do. LaTeX is very, very fast. And you know, Control equals will take you back and forth, but make sure your LaTeX is selected so you can do that easily. Let's hit our end equation. Let's hit enter. Okay, let's go find that quadratic formula. We know we need to do all equals in order to get into the equation editor. If you already know it, you can go ahead and open your Braille Math editor and immediately solve it. It's very easy to do that. But we're going from the standpoint, oh, you're just not sure what that code is. Here we go. Alt equals.
Alt equals selected math content.
I'm going to hush them up. Alt J E.
Alt J upper rib E.
Okay, and we know E takes us to our equation.
E, equation, built dash in, area of circle, surface
Let's
area.
go down.
Expansion, Fourier series for a function.
And those are a lot of fun to learn. But once again, use those tricks that I just taught you, and you too can teach that code to your students so they can sit in their classroom and have that math teacher teach them how to complete all of it.
Pythagorean theorem, quadratic formula, root of the equation.
There we are. And
plus
enter.
Edit.
Okay, so once again, when you want to manipulate this, all you have to do is open the Braille Math editor. Can you go right and left arrow?
Equals, fraction,
yes,
minus.
You can. I'm going to tell you, it's not as easy to do it in this form. So we're going to go into the Braille Math editor and show you how easy it is to manipulate.
Braille Math editor, equation edit, contains text, type in a math expression.
Okay, so if you're new to UEB Math, you may not understand how many dot 56s begin and or end a math problem. Once again, we're going to do, you already know I can right arrow and left arrow and quickly change the math anywhere in here because it's so easy. But the big one is you need to teach this code. Control A and copy it.
Selected, copied.
And then, of course, after you both learn the Braille on this, the student and the teacher, then, of course, the student's instantly going to go back here and they're going to start changing the letters and the numbers to based on what they need. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy one more time just to make sure it's good. I'm going to hit
Dot end.
and
Blank. Edit.
I'm going to go
Math content X
down
equals
because you have to get totally at the end of it.
end equation.
And now
Enter.
enter, and then I'm going to
Pasted.
paste the braille there. And of course, it reads to you. Visually, the teacher can quickly see, okay, I've got to remember to tell the student they need to do 3 5 6s to begin this math problem. And of course, to end it 5 6 and dot 3. So those are the incredible tricks that you can utilize in order to learn math. Once again, you can also do your LaTeX. I would have to go up here,
Math content X
quadratic
math
formula.
content.
We know we have to do Alt-J-E and go to LaTeX in order to do this well. So let's do that one more time.
Alt-J, upper ribbon, expanded E. Equation
We know
tools,
we need TX.
T, X,
Go to
TX on,
LaTeX.
leaving menus, leaving ribbons, edit.
And we know we can change quickly back and forth between
Control equals selected.
and Control Shift.
Control Shift equals.
And there is all the beautiful LaTeX. X equals backslash. Just so you understand, the LaTeX does start with backslash. So once you get into college and above and you're sharing your information with all those other math experts, guess what they're going to be using? Pretty good chance, LaTeX. But now you know how to go back and forth, how to use all these wonderful tricks and tips in doing math and learning it well in order to teach it. Set up computer to work the best with screen readers and braille displays. Find this at yourtechvision.com and just do a search for Windows 11. Making the inaccessible accessible with quadratic math formulas for this lesson. Take those images and make them true text. So we have a graphic here, and as any screen reader user knows, there are often a lot of graphics that are sent to us in order to do the math, and we know they're totally inaccessible to the screen reader. So I'm actually going to hit my applications key. I'm going to go down to copy this, and I'm going to put it through Math Kicker to make it perfect math. Let's go ahead and applications key.
Applications, context menu to navigate. Save copy image, 3 of 8.
Down arrow to copy image and hit enter.
Enter, leaving menus, Algebra 0.
I know when I opened Chrome, I opened Math Kicker first, so I can control 1. You can also control tab, but I'm going to control 1.
Control 1, Math Kicker, Google Chrome.
Okay, I'm going to use the command Alt-V to paste that. If I ever forget a command, I can hit my applications key and, of course, go down to all the other options. I'm going to Alt-V, listen for 2 chimes because that's when we know it is completely translated into our beautiful math. Alt-V.
Alt-V, paste converted image button to activate, press spacebar, edit, type in text.
Okay, so we heard the 2 chimes, and of course, nothing is speaking. If you have a braille display, you can see it on your braille display. If you're an auditory learner, go ahead and just control home, and either way, you're going to hear that you've got your math. Control home.
Top, name, date.
Great, and down arrow.
Blank, solving quadratic simple worksheet.
That's what we're going to do.
Blank, directions, solve each equation. Blank, 1 graphic x2 graphic minus graphic 8 x7 equals 0.
Okay, and I'm just going to hush them up because I want to move right arrow past the number 1 and get right to my math.
1, right bracket, space, x caret 2 minus 8x plus 7 equals 0, period. No description of...
Lovely. We know, and if you've ever watched these before, I'm going to hit F2 to get into my editor.
F2, modal dialog, to navigate, use tab, expression section, X2 button.
Okay, we know we need our cursor off all the time that we're in here. So if I right arrow and I hear caret 2, I know my cursor popped on. Let's right arrow.
Minus 8x button to activate,
Beautiful.
press 7 button to equals button to act, 0 button to activate, press space bar.
Lovely.
Chat GPT. Math Kicker, Google, expression section, 7 equals 0 button to activate, press space bar.
Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to just go ahead and deal with that constant because that's the easiest thing to do.
Equals 7 button to activate, press space bar.
Okay, and at that point, I'm going to control right arrow, which will instantaneously move that 7 to the right-hand side of my equals and make it a negative. Control right arrow.
+7, Math Kicker, document, Math Kicker, mode.
Okay, I'm going to hush them up each time so I can actually talk. And I'm going to right arrow so you can keep listening to what I'm doing.
-7 button to activate, press space bar.
So I went to the right of the equals. Sure enough, it did change it to a -7. Let's go ahead and we need to now complete the square on the left-hand side. And to complete the square, we need to take half of the coefficient of x. Let's go find it. Left arrow.
Equals button, -8x button to activate, press space bar.
And there we are. We need to square it, and then this square to both sides of the equation. The coefficient of x is -8, as we just heard. So half of this is -4, and squaring -4 gives us 16. We want to do it to both sides, which is Alt-B. Alt-B.
Alt-B, enter what you want to apply to both sides. 1. 6.
I'm just typing 16, and that should instantaneously put it on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. Enter.
16. Enter. Math Kicker I document. Math Kicker I modal dialog.
Okay, I'm actually going to right arrow through the math problem to truly make sure it did.
-8x button. 16 button to activate.
Yep.
Equals but -7. 16 button
Beautiful.
to activate. Press space bar.
Well, while I'm on the right-hand side, let's go ahead and just deal with 16 minus 7. So I'm going to select it with spacebar.
Space. 16 selected.
Move to the left.
-7 button to activate.
And
Space.
spacebar.
-7 selected.
I'm going to replace this Control R with 9. Control R.
Control R. Replace -769.
9 and enter.
Enter. Math Kicker I document. Math Kicker I modal dialog. Expression section 9.
Okay, so now we need to rewrite the left-hand side as a perfect square. So let's get to the left.
Equals button to 16 button to activate. Press space bar.
Start selecting with spacebar. Space.
Space 16
left,
-8x space
space,
-8 x2
left,
button to space x2 selected.
Okay, we know we need to do Control R to replace that. Control R.
Control R. Replace x2 8x16 with edit. Left parent x dash 4. Right parent.
The power.
2.
Okay, and enter.
Enter. Math Kicker I document. Math Kicker I modal dialog. Expression set.
Okay, we're moving through this pretty nicely. Now we need to go ahead and take the square root of both sides. Once again, Alt B, and this time we're going to use the letter R for radical. So Alt B to both sides.
Alt B. Enter what you want to apply to both R.
R for radical.
2.
2. Square it. Enter.
R2. Enter. Math Kicker I document. Math Kicker I modal dialog. Expression section. Square root of x -4 2 button.
Okay, let's go ahead and just deal with that. Since we're right there, we're going to hit spacebar.
Space. Square root of x -4
And
2
we want to
selected.
Control R.
Control R. Replace SQRTX 4 2 x dash 4.
And enter.
Enter. Math Kicker I document. Math Kicker I modal dialog. X button to activate. Press
Okay, let's right arrow and listen.
-4 button to activate. Equals button to activate. Press space. Square root of 9 button to activate. Press space bar.
Okay, let's deal with that.
Space. Square root of 9
Control R.
selected. Control R. Replace SQRT.
Now, we know this needs to be a plus or minus. So backslash PM and the square root of 9 is
3.
3. And
Enter. Math Kicker I document. Math Kicker I modal dialog. Expression section. +or -3 button.
Okay, we're getting very close. We're almost there to getting X all by itself. Let's left arrow.
Equals button to -4 button to X button to activate. Press space bar.
Okay, let's right arrow to -4.
-4 button to activate. Press space.
Right off the bat, we know we need to move that to the right-hand side. So Control right arrow.
-4. Math Kicker I document. Math Kicker I modal dialog.
Okay, and let's go ahead and right arrow.
+or -3 button to activate. Press space bar.
So we can decide, actually, do we want to do the plus or do we want to do the minus first? I'm going to go ahead and do the plus first, and then I'm going to hit enter, and we're going to insert all this information, and then I'm going to show you how to use your Alt equals directly in Math Kicker, just like you do in Word, so we can go ahead and get our other answer of 4 minus 3, which is 1. Let's
Space.
bar,
+or -3 selected.
right arrow,
4 button. Space.
space
4
bar.
selected.
Once again, we're going to do the plus. We want to do Control R to replace that.
Control R. Replace PM 3 4
Negative
7.
7 and enter.
Enter. Math Kicker I document. Math Kicker I modal dialog. Expression section 7 button to activate.
7. Let's left arrow and listen.
Equals button. X button to activate. Press space bar.
Beautiful. Okay, we've got our X equals 7. Let's hit enter.
Enter. Main region. Edit. Type in text.
Okay, and up arrow.
Graphic X equals 7 graphic.
Okay, so we're not quite done with that. We still need to put our other answer of
Graphic.
enter.
Enter.
Okay, we need X equals 1. So here we go. Alt equals.
Alt equals. Enter the expression equation modal dialog. Edit. Blank. Type in text.
Okay, so we had
X
X
equals.
equals, and this time we're going to do
4.
4
Underline.
minus
3.
3. Whoops, I did
3.
dash.
Underline. Dash. 3.
X equals 4 minus 3. Let's go ahead and hit enter.
Enter. Main region. Edit. Type in text. Modal dialog. To navigate. Use tab. X button to activate. Press space bar.
Let's go ahead and solve that. Right arrow.
Equals but 4 button to activate. Press
Select
space
it
bar.
with space.
4 select. Minus
Right
3
arrow.
button to act space. Minus 3
Space.
selected.
Okay, we're going to replace that with Control R.
Control R. Replace 4 3 with equals
which
modal
is
1.
1 and
Enter.
enter.
Math Kicker I.
Life is a competition, and digital access is the key. Using Math Kicker, AI for advanced mathematics such as matrices. Do Alt M to do a matrix.
Alt M. Enter latex expression to gen.
Okay, so I'm going to type out exactly how you know. M is matrix.
M.
What do I want to create? I want to create a 2 by 2 matrix, so it's going to be
2.
2. I want this to be A, so I'm going to do a capital A.
A.
And then I'm going to hit enter.
M22. Enter. Document read only. Matrix editor modal dialog. A110.
Okay, so I'm in A11. So this is just like any spreadsheet that you're going to be in. It's 11. What should be there? It's going to be 2.
2. A11. 2.
Okay, A11, 2. So I need to right arrow to my other because I created a 2 by 2.
A12,
Okay, and it's 0 right now. I want it to be 4.
4, A12, 4,
I'm going to right arrow.
A21, 0,
Okay, I'm in A21. I'm in the second row now. I want it to be 1.
1, A21, 1,
Okay, and of course I typed in 1. I'm going to right arrow.
A22, 0,
Okay, and it's 0 and I want to make it 2.
2,
So
A22, 2,
now you can up and down arrow, left and right, it doesn't matter. If you start out with right arrow, then you're knowing you're moving left to right and then down left to right. But you can do it however you want. I'm going to hit enter on that.
enter, main region, edit, type in text.
Okay. And I have another beautiful A equals, it's a 2 by 2 matrix, 2, 4, 1, 2. Once again, let's just see if it will read. Like I said, F9 is our friend.
Graphic.6, graphic A equals graphic matrix space 2 and 4, graphic 1 and 2.
Well, looky there, and it read perfectly. Once again, you really want to F9 really to make sure those do read correctly. So let's down and create B.
Graphic.6.
How can you emboss any graphic, but in particular math graphics, right from Word using View Plus Technologies, Embossers, and Tiger software? I'll show you how to do this image all by yourself, even if you don't have vision. So I'm going to do a Control N, and always make sure you do a Control Enter at the end of your math so the image is on the page all by itself. Let's go ahead and Control N.
Control N, page 1, document 1.
And this is how you would insert an image all by yourself. I'm going to go Alt N to insert P to my pictures and O for online.
Alt N, upper ribbon P, insert pic O, leaving menus, leaving ribbons, insert picture about blank, online pictures. No.
I'm going to hush them up. I'm going to type in right triangle.
R-I-G-A-T-R-I-A-N-G-L-E.
And I'm going to hit enter.
Triangle, enter. Not selected, right triangle, trigonometry, space marker, pre-calculus, 1 of 24, to move.
So there's 24 items. I know the item that I want is going to go, I'm going to go down arrow to find it. Right now, you cannot right and left arrow through this. So if you cannot find what you need, of course, you're going to have to do another search. I'm going to go down arrow to the right triangle that I want.
Not selected, right triangle, not selected, right, not selected, geometry dash Z, coordinates of third point, left pair.
You're actually not sure where you're at, just hit spacebar.
Geometry dash Z, coordinates of
and it will
point,
select it, and that is the one I want. So I'm going to go ahead and tab. You do have to select it in order to insert it. Insert option won't even appear if you don't select something. I'm going to tab to insert.
Insert left pair and 1 right.
Hit enter.
Grouped object graphic.
Okay.
With text,
now,
with text and space.
I'm going to hush up Jaws, or he's going to talk over top of me. So what you want to do is you need to change your page down to 100% because now I'm going to go into the Be My Eyes app. If you did not know Be My Eyes has an option for your computer, it does. Just go to the Microsoft Store, type in Be My Eyes, go ahead and download that. And of course, you automatically have that done. I have done the Picture Smart. It does not work in this. So it will in some, but not all. But Be My Eyes will. I'm going to Alt-VZ. And I'm not hearing my Jaws because I suspended him. Let me hear where I'm actually at. Insert tab.
In line with text button.
Escape and get out. And now I'm going to Alt-V.
Upper ribbon Z.
Z.
Menus, leaving ribbons. Alt-1.
1 to 100%. Okay, and now I'm going to open my Be My Eyes app, and it's going to tell me exactly the way this right triangle looks. Now, any of those probably could have been fine, but I wanted a particular one, so you can just keep going through the different right triangles in order to find the one you want. I want to go ahead and actually Control-Shift-O first on this.
Grouped object graphic, grouped object, inline objects dialog, list 1, list view, greater group 3, 408 points wide by 3.
So you can hear that. There's no alt text to it. So I always tell students and transcribers immediately alt text that. All you have to do is hit your applications key, hit A for alt text, and type in actually what it is. I'm going to hit enter to reselect this because I want to tab to the words that say this photo is blah, 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 blah. You want to get rid of that, otherwise it's going to come out as garbage on your embosser. So I'm going to hit enter to select it.
Enter picture 408. Picture 1 graphic. Grouped object. Picture 1. This photo by unknown author is licensed
Tab
under CC.
once, tab again,
This photo by unknown author is licensed.
and
Blank.
delete.
Picture 1 graphic. Picture 1 image. Layout option.
Now
Inline
I
with
actually
text.
have the
Inline with
picture that I
text.
want,
Escape.
and I'm going to hit escape. Now I'm going to open my Be My Eyes app.
Search Be My Eyes app. Press
Hit
right to
enter.
B. Enter. Be My Eyes. Be My Eyes. This.
Okay, I'm just going to hush them up. I already know my commands. I'm going to use Control Alt H. All the commands do begin with Control Alt, and Control Alt H is pretty much the one I'm using all the time. I'm going to Alt tab to my picture.
Document 1 dash Word to move to an item.
I'm going to Control Alt H.
Alt Control H. Be My Eyes. Be My AI tab 1 of 2. To switch pages, press Control plus page down. Please wait. Be My AI is writing a message. Question to ask the AI. Edit. Type in text. The image shows a Microsoft Word document with a diagram of a right triangle. The triangle is labeled with colon dash vertices colon V1, V2, V3 in red, dash sides colon A, B, C in black, dash angles colon A, B, C in blue with angle C being a right angle. The triangle is oriented with the right angle at vertex V2.
Okay, and at that point, I can actually ask it more questions, which is really nice. What you want to do is you want to copy out that image and you want to paste it into your document in order to hand in, but emboss this image out. Can you do it on the other document? Absolutely, you can, especially when you hit Control Enter and make that shape all by itself on another page. But for ease, just emboss it off right here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. And then when you're listening to Be My Eyes, you're going to have your fingers on that diagram, and you're going to be feeling every single one of the points that it's telling you. Because the picture is not going to change to UEB code or Nemeth code because it is in print, you can still feel all the shape, and that's what you want to do. You want to connect that into your brain. I'm going to hit escape and get out. Oh, that's right. Escape does not get it out. I have to Alt F4. And I actually don't want to close my Be My app, or excuse me, Be My Eyes, because I'm going to be doing other graphics in this math lesson. So you just Alt Tab back to your Word document.
Document 1 dash Word. To move to an item, press the arrow key.
Okay, once the graphic is there, you want to go ahead and reselect it and do check the size of it. And I'm going to show you how to change that size. Once again, Control Shift O.
Inline objects dialog. List enter.
Enter.
408 point applications.
Applications key.
3. Remove this A.
A.
Menus. Document 1 dash GAT.
Okay, so I've opened the alt text because if I copy this and paste it into Word, if you don't, it's just going to say object, object. Everybody who knows that, who uses a screen reader knows that. So when I do Control Shift O and I have 6 graphics in there, it doesn't matter. It's going to just make it beautifully. I'm going to Control Space and C to close my navigation pane so it pops me back to my picture.
Control Space, Group C, leaving menus, Microsoft Word document.
Okay, now I'm going to check the size.
Escape, right triangle, applications, group, cut, 1 of 3.
Now I can up arrow, but I'm going to just hit Z because I've done this a lot. Size and position is Z.
Z, leaving menus, cancel.
If you've never been into the application key option, do down arrow or up arrow and listen to all your options. Make sure lock aspect ratio is selected because when you change your absolute values, which is where you need to work, it will automatically change correctly. I'm going to Alt A just to check to make sure that is checked. If I Alt A and it says unchecked, it's because by default, it typically is checked. Alt A.
Alt lock aspect ratio checkbox not checked. To check, press space.
Space bar to recheck that. Now I'm going to go to my absolute value. Now I'm giving you the hotkey commands just because I've done this so much. You can always tab around in all dialog boxes in order to learn these commands well. I'm going to Alt E.
Alt E, absolute radio button checked.
Yep, and I'm going to tab to see how large it is.
Absolute height, edit combo. To set the value, use the arrow keys or type the value.
Okay, so I have it in points. You can go into your Alt F. You can go ahead and go to T to your options. Go down to advanced. You can change this to inches or whatever you want. This is a pretty good size for me, 335.5 point. If you're in inches, of course, it's probably going to be easier if you know inches. If you're in centimeters or points, then of course you want to change that default to what you know. I'm going to tab to my width to make sure it's changed correctly. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and do 340 so you can actually see the triangle change if you have vision.
3, 4, 0.
Okay, and then visually you can also see your width automatically change. So tab.
340. Absolute width. Edit combo. To set the value, use the arrow keys or type the value. Computer braille.
Yep, and as soon as you tab to that, of course, that's on my braille display also, it automatically checks or changes because you had lock aspect ratio. Otherwise, your picture is going to come out looking funny. I'm going to hit enter.
Enter. Right triangle graphic. Right triangle.
And it changed that. At this point, I'm going to do Control P.
Menu. Print group. Print button. 1 of 3.
Tab.
Receiving printer with printer combo box. APH Pix.
Now, the APH Pixblaster is actually the Columbia embosser from View Plus Technology. They also are the ones that are selling the Tiger software, which connects all this together. Geometry and graphing in Desmos. Desmos graphing calculator for all graphing. So the commands in Desmos pretty much start with Control and Alt. So it's just memorizing what letter goes with what. I want to get to the edit box. I want to make sure I'm in the edit box. I'm going to Control Alt E.
Alt Control E. Desmos graphing calculator.
Lovely.
Desmos graphing calculator. Expression list region. Expression 1 edit blank.
Okay.
Edit. Desmos.
So you heard the pop, it worked great, and we're going to put this simplified solution in there of y equals 28x plus 12. You can also Alt-Tab back to your Word. Maybe you have some memory issues on that. You can actually select it out, copy it, and paste it in also. That's just a little trick that you might want to know.
Y equals 2, 2, 8, 8, x, x.
And
28x, 1, 2.
So I'm typing
Y
out on
equals
the
28x.
keyboard. I'm going to tell you this would be a lot faster on my braille display. I do have my braille display up, but I'm going to go ahead and type it out on the keyboard because I am going to tell you, based on your braille display and your screen reader and whatnot, your braille display may not work. So I'm just going to be typing this out. So we've got our beautiful simplified answer there, y equals 28x plus 12. If you're visual, you're looking at that graph going, what? That looks so funny. Keep that in mind, because our X and our Y are not set up correctly. You must change your settings based on your math problem or it will not look right at all. Okay, we're going to hit enter. We're going to solve all of this first, and then I'm going to show you how to change your settings so your graph will actually look correct. Okay, enter.
12, enter, expression 2 edit.
I'm going to hush them up. We know our first solution is y equals 180.
Y equals 1, 8, 0, 0, y equals 1.
I'm going to hush them up. Once you get to 180, right off the bat, you're going to think, okay, when I get to my y, is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 going to fit on my graph? Absolutely not. So you can think, okay, I could change it to 100. You're going to understand what I'm saying in just a moment. Or 200 in order to make my graph appear on this visual structure. Because just picture yourself walking 100 steps or 200 steps. Somehow you have to fit 180 in this graph, and visually it pretty much goes to 14 by default. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You have to adjust your settings in order to get your math worked in here. I'm going to hit enter and put my next solution of x equals 6.
180x equals 6.
Okay.
6. X equals 6.
Lovely. Well, x equals 6. Guess what? That's within 14. That's going to show up. That y equals 100, 180 is way, way up, that y. We're going to fix that in a moment. So actually, I think we're going to fix that before I show you how to do the dashed lines, because I want you to, if you're visual, be able to see this. And we already know Alt-T will graph all these lines. Absolutely do that. If you do not have sight and you're just a screen reader user, make sure you do all the tracing of your graph, okay? That's Alt-T, and of course, your screen reader will tell you that. So we are going to go to your graph settings. So guess what? Control-Alt-G, Control-Alt-G. All of these commands are under your insert F5 if you forget, and when you're beginning, you will forget. We all do. So just insert F5, open them up, and you will quickly start memorizing them.
Alt Control G, graph settings, controls region, graph settings region, display size group.
I'm going to hush them up. So if you're low vision, absolutely go here and adjust this so you can visually see it better. You can change your contrast, your letters, your numbers, anything you need to see it better. I'm going to tab in because once again, it is about seeing. And guess what? Your fingers see better with less clutter. And you have minor and major lines in here. So get rid of the minor so you can easily read the major lines when you emboss this out. That's where we're going to tab right now.
Reverse contrast. Braille mode check. Grid checkbox check. Cartesian grid top. Polar grid top. Arrows checkbox. Axis numbers checkbox checked. To clear checkmark, press space
That's
bar.
good. Absolutely. Keep that. You don't want to be spending all your time going 1, 2, 3, 4 and crossing across your axis or counting across your axis. Keep your numbers. That's the whole point.
Minor grid lines checkbox checked. To clear
Get rid of it. Spacebar.
space not
Okay.
checked.
Now, our x-axis is going to be good. So as I tab, you're going to hear, basically, like I said, it's 14 on up, right, left, up, and down. We're going to pass that. We're going to go to our y-axis because we know y equals 180. That's where it's going to be essential to change the numbers so we can get this into view. You need it into view for visually and for your fingers. So let's start tabbing.
X-axis checkbox checked. To clear label edit blank.
Yes, you can label this, you can do all this, but remember, you're doing homework. Typically 10, 15, 20 problems, whatever. You need to be able to do the math, get it done, and rarely do teachers require labels. But if you need to, there you go.
X-axis minimum negative
Yep, that's fine.
14.5410. X-axis maximum 14.
I mean, you could adjust that a little bit. It is x equals 6. So that's totally up to you. If you want to put it down to 10 or 8, kind of play around with this, see what you like the best. So keep tabbing.
X-axis steps. Y-axis checkbox checked.
Yep.
Label edit. Y-axis minimum negative 8.
Yep. There's our big problem. Okay, so we want something above 180. So I'm just going to choose 200. So my first number is going to be negative 200. And I'm going to tab and then put 200 again. So that's going to be my scale there. So negative 200.
Dash 2, 200, 200.
Tab.
Y-axis maximum 200.
Okay, so if you're visual, you can instantaneously see your graph change, and beautiful, you now actually see all your lines. Now, typically, you can enter and get out, but we're going to just escape and get out. Based on your updates, we already know our boxes and our technology works a little bit differently. I'm going to hit escape and get out.
Escape. Graph settings button menu.
Okay, you're stuck on your graph settings. That's not where we want to be. We want to control Alt E. We need to get back to our numbers because now we need to change our solutions to dotted lines. Control Alt E.
Alt Control E. Expression list region. Expression 1.
I'm going to hush him up. Yep, he's just going to read my expression 1, y equals 28x, 28x plus 12. I need a shift tab to my settings.
Expression bar toolbar. Hide expression list button to edit expression list button to activate. Press enter. Space. Done button to activate. Press enter. Edit list.
So done button is when you've actually finished all of this. We're going to go in. Do listen to your first color because you need to write your first color into your directions so you know that your y equals 28x plus 12 is red. So here we go.
Expression list region. Read only edit. Expression 1. Y equals 28x plus 12.
Keep going.
Show options for expression 1 button to activate. Press enter.
Okay, you're going to need to enter or space bar so you know what color this is so you can write it in.
Space. Options menu open. Options menu.
Yeah, I'm going to shift tab because I already know all my colors are at the bottom.
Expression list hide options. Options menu region. Color picker group. Standard list with 6 items. Red. 1 of 6. To move.
So now you know immediately. Alt tab back and you're going to put that is red. And you're going to escape out of that because you are not changing everything. By default, all lines are solid. If you're not sure about that, you can continue to shift tab and listen.
Style group. Solid radio button checked. 1 of 3. To check.
And when you're beginning, I actually highly suggest listening to this whole little dialog box. If you're low vision, you're going to want to make the lines thicker and more bold. And those options are in there also. So I'm going to hit escape and get out.
Escape. Expression list region. Show up.
I'm going to continue to tab to my expression 2. Remember, this is expression 1 because we know y equals 180, and it will tell us that so you know which one you're making dotted.
Create table from expression. Duplicate expression 1. Delete expression 1 button to active. Read only edit. Expression 2. Y equals 180.
So now you know you're getting into your solutions. You're going to want to make that a dotted line.
Slider minimum, slider maximum.
Now I'm going to tell you the sliders are pretty cool if you're visual. So if you're low vision, absolutely put something in there so you can see the steps, maybe 10. So you can actually see that line move up and down or back and forth based on what you're solving. So sliders are cool. It's not going to do anything any good for a screen reader user. So keep going.
Slider steps. Desmos graphing. Desmos graphing calculator. Desmos graphing calculator. Expression list region. Show options for expression 2 button to activate. Press.
And it tells you those pops. So listen for those pops and you'll be able to start moving really quickly. I'm going to hit spacebar.
Space. Options menu region. Lines visible. Checkbox checked.
Okay, just know if you uncheck that, your line's going to disappear. Maybe by default, somehow that did get unchecked. So make sure that is checked. I'm going to move past the visual options of making things bolder and the lines thicker to my solid line, and we're going to pick a dashed line.
Line opacity edit. Line thickness PX. Style group. Solid radio button checked. 1 of 3 to change.
So it tells you 1 of 3. I'm going to right arrow once.
Dashed radio button checked. 2 of 3 to change.
That is what I want. I'm going to tab and make sure I have another color other than red. But by default, it kind of automatically just moves along the line of colors.
Color picker group. Standard list with 6 items. Blue 2 of 6.
Yep.
To move.
So I'm on 2 of 6 before I was on 1 of 6 with red. You can go ahead and right arrow and move through other colors. Of course, we're going to pick another color for expression 3. And you hit spacebar to select it, or right arrow and spacebar, whatever you would like to do. I'm going to hit escape and get out and go down to expression 3 because once I know it's selected, I'm done with it.
Escape expression list.
Thank you. And if you have any questions, contact TechVision Training at yourtechvision.com.